What's going on? We are officially live talking about what are some of the key skills to become a successful software engineer. So, if you were wondering, like, do I have the skills? Do I have what it takes to become a successful software engineer? There's so many things going on. It's so overwhelming. So many things. So many things. And what do I need to do to be successful? To become a software engineer? Do I have the skills already? Because sometimes some of these skills you might already have, actually, depending on if you're coming from another field, different background. There's a lot of different skills that will transfer over. Whatever your profession is, nurse, teacher, lawyer, even a retail worker, right? Walmart, Burger King. I guess, is Burger King retail? Not sure, but we're going to be tackling this problem, and it's really, 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 really important for you to understand what are these key skills, because as you're going on this journey to become a software engineer, there are key skills. There are things that you need to know, need to be aware of, things that you need to develop in addition to just coding. Right? Of course, coding is a skill. We're going to jump into it. So, one of the very first, and I believe, one of the most important skills that you need to have as a developer, and these are not necessarily in order, but this is my order. Number one skill, let's save that one for last. Let's go start off with the third skill. The third skill that you need to have in order to become a software engineer or a successful one is you need to have the technical ability, the technical know-how. You need to know. You need to know basically the programming languages that are JavaScript, R, Python, HTML, CSS, Ruby, Rust, whatever they are, right? Whatever programming language there is, you absolutely need to be technically proficient. So, also, what does that mean? Data structures, algorithms, system design. Now, if you're starting off, you don't really need to worry about system design too much. This basically allows for you to be able to tackle problem solving in a more efficient manner, right? Which is uh, actually one of our other skills that we're going to be talking about. But first, really understanding the programming language. So, what does that mean? Does it mean just taking tutorial after tutorial after tutorial? Not necessarily, right? You want to be able to have that skill down packed in terms of maybe going to a video, like watching some videos, but also reading some books and being able to break down those things. Again, algorithms, data structures, system design, those are concepts that you can just continuously learn. Even if you're starting off, you have a book on it. Doesn't mean you have to memorize all of that stuff, anything like that. But it's always good to have concepts in the back of your mind. Knowledge doesn't hurt, right? It's not like you learn something and then you lose something. You just learn everything and retain as much as you possibly can. And then when you go on interviews, guess what? You're going to be able to impress some people. Of course, I'm talking about interviews a lot, but these are also going to help you on the job. It's going to help your performance on the job, which is very important because one part is to get the job and then the other part is to keep the job. So moving on. Skill numero dos, or tuban, iban in Korean, right? Skill number 2, second most important in my book, would be continuously problem solving. The skill of being able to problem solve efficiently. Efficiently being able to problem solve. If you cannot problem solve, this ties in with the last one, right? Having the technical abilities, right, of that particular programming language, whether it's JavaScript, whatnot. But if you cannot problem solve in an effective manner, what do I mean? Basically, if there's a big problem in front of you, if you're the person who just shuts down and gets overwhelmed, Well, software engineering is going to be very, very, very difficult for you. That is something that you're going to have to overcome. Not focusing on that, not coming out in the open and saying those things is actually something that's going to hamper you in the future. So if you're going through and you have a boot camp, or you're studying on your own, or you have a mentor, a coach, a guy, whatever, you're following some course online, and you're not coming up with these moments where you start to feel overwhelmed to the point where you just want to shut it down, that is crucial. You need to have that experience. You absolutely need to have that experience. If you're not having that experience, something is wrong with your learning. If it's just so easy, you need to question, why is it this easy? Yeah, sure, your instructor might be amazing, but they should not be telling you everything. They should not just be giving you fish. They should be teaching you how to fish. And in order to know how to fish effectively in the world of software engineering, it's a little bit painful. It's a little bit painful. You're going to experience a little bit of pain, but you need that pain. It's going to be outside of your comfort area. That's where it's going to allow you to grow. That's where the growth starts to take place. So do you want to be stagnant where you are? Once you start feeling overwhelmed, do you shut down? You shut down, and then what? Then you don't come back to it? Or you come back to it much later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, and then you're looking at the same problem again, hoping that it's different, hoping that something changed about it, and then you realize, no, it's the same problem. And then you start working on something else. You give up on that one. Well, if somebody's paying you $100,000, $80,000, if somebody's paying you, period, doesn't matter how much, if they're paying you, can you quit? Can we quit if they're paying you? Of course not. We can't quit if they're paying us. We have to actually stay the course. We have to actually figure out a way to problem solve effectively. Now, what does that look like? To give you like a little tad bit, a little insider perspective of how you handle it. If you start feeling overwhelmed, that means your priorities are not clear. You don't know what to do next. That's why it's overwhelmed. You don't know what is the immediate thing I must do. What is task A? What is task B? What is task C? We don't know that. We just see the whole picture and just like, oh my gosh, this is too much. This is too much. I can't. How am I supposed to do this? Break it down. I need to do this first, this second, this third. Even if you're wrong, it doesn't matter. The fact that you're breaking it down and you're doing things, you're progressively breaking down the large task into smaller bits, smaller pieces, and then you're tackling those small problems. That is effective problem solving in the world of software engineering. So if you have a big task that you have to do, you have a big ticket, right? Something's going wrong with your code. Start breaking it down. Where is it happening? What part of where in the application is it happening? Okay, where's the code that this is corresponding to? Right? Oh, okay, it's somewhere on my JavaScript file. It has something to do with interactivity. Okay, so it has something to do with the JavaScript. Oh, it doesn't look the way it's supposed to. That's something with possibly with the CSS. Oh, okay, like things are just formatted incorrectly. Maybe it's HTML. Start breaking it down. And now, all right, instead of me looking at the whole code, the whole big picture, let me just focus on this one thing right here. Let me see. All right, I fixed this problem. Now I realize there's another problem. Okay, let me just break that down. Let me focus on this. Now, if we don't have that ability to break things down that way, we will struggle. And I'm only saying this from personal experience because this is something that I struggled with. Personally, this is something I really, really struggle with, like how to break these things down. And I felt like I was a pretty good problem solver. Honestly, I like teaching in a class, teaching middle school students, like teaching 6th and 7th graders, going through puberty and having emotional outbursts in class. I like to think I was a good problem solver, think quick on my feet and all this other stuff. But when it comes to the technical know-how, which was the other skill we just talked about, very important, mixed in with what you do with the problem solving and how you chunk these tasks down, is crucial. It's crucial to being an effective successful software engineer. So now that leads us with the number one most important skill that you must have to be a software engineer, an effective software engineer. And this, to me, this is overslept. I say that kind of often for some of the things I'm trying to highlight, but like honestly, this is not talked about enough. And this is so, so, so important. A lot of people think that the technical skills, the problem solving, those two things are the number one. When you're thinking about software engineering, when you think about like speaking with computers, that's the first thing that you think about. But the job is not just talking with computers. The job is actually speaking with other people. Being able to communicate effectively with other people is the most important skill. Soft skills. That's the most important thing. You're going to have somebody telling you what to code, what to fix. You're going to have to problem solve with other people. You're not problem solving just with the computer. You're going to have to effectively explain why you made certain decisions on the code with other people. You're going to see bugs in other people's code. How do you handle those situations is very, very important. Do you rub people the wrong way? Are you too blunt? Are you too cold? Are you a pushover? Where is that balance? That skill of communication, effectively doing it is so important. I'll go as far to say this. If you meet the best programmer in the entire world, best programmer that ever lived, the Albert Einstein of programmers, and this person is a jerk, is an a-hole, can't communicate effectively, constantly put other people down, makes them feel like they're lesser, constantly makes everyone second guess whether they're intelligent enough to do the job with that person. Guess what? That person will not be at the company that much longer. Unless it's an extremely toxic environment and everybody's like that. But guess what? Do you want to work in that environment? No. You're going to be stressed like crazy in that type of environment. You don't want to work there. I'm telling you. And most people are human beings first before they're software engineers, right? And this is actually kind of like a growing trend that I'm noticing with a lot of companies, because a lot of people that come from like a traditional background with a computer science degree, they're so, I want to say binary, like zeros and ones. They're kind of like just code. They're not everybody, but a lot of computer science degree graduates haven't really interacted much. And so if you are pretty good at communications or communicating, so say for instance, you're a lawyer, a teacher, a nurse, a healthcare professional, period, right? Take care of some people. If you're of any of those fields where you're effectively communicating with people, you have a major leg up on a lot of people coming into this field. You have a major leg up on computer science degrees in that perspective. If you can learn that the other two skills that we mentioned, the technical skills, and then also the problem solving. And if you're a lawyer, you probably have pretty good problem solving skills, right? If you're a doctor, you probably definitely have some good problem solving skills. But if you're not those, shoot, healthcare workers, I'm pretty sure you're good at problem solving. Shoot, if you're at Burger King, I'm pretty sure you're good at some form of problem solving. And the reason why I say Burger King is because I worked there when I was 16, right? So when you get the soft skills down, I can give a quick story. I was on a team and the other developers were not the nicest to talk with. And there were constant complaints about how difficult it was to work with them, to the point where they had to be educated on how to effectively communicate. That's how important it is. And there was only 3 developers on the team. Right? So those things are extremely important to master. The technical know-how, to recap, the technical know-how, problem solving, breaking things down, and then third, soft skills, communication. So if you're wondering about all of this and you're like, do I have all of those skills. I know I have all of those skills, Dave. I got all of them. I just need to know the technical know-how. I just need the soft skills. Well, check this out. I have a free roadmap. I'm going to link it actually below. Or if you follow me on Instagram or wherever the case is at Dev Journey, right? If you follow me on Instagram and you want to message me, or you can actually comment down below, I can actually send that to you. I can send that roadmap to you. And then also, in addition to it, guys download the roadmap. We're actually going to throw in a bonus. So download the roadmap. I'm going to actually send all over to you a workshop for mindset. We did a mindset training workshop in our community. It was extremely helpful for a lot of people. So I recommend it. Definitely download it. It's free. Learn. Again, put all the knowledge. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't take anything out. And it might just be the difference of you getting your next job. So check it out. I'll see you guys in the next live. Deuces.